Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Man, it's a beautiful fall morning and we're bringing back a series that I really enjoyed doing last year. It was tracking bass movement. It was on a different lake, you know, it was kind of a small creek. I kind of felt like a caged animal in there. Well, we've moved it to a whole new lake right over here in another part of the state, both largemouth, smallmouth, tracking bass movement. Let's go fishing right now.
From the top of the mountain.
So we're gonna do this tracking bass movements on Skiatook Lake, and 100% transparent, I fished this lake less than 10 times probably in my career. So it's gonna be kind of a challenge for me. I don't know that this is a great lake. It's not a grand lake, you know, like Grand Lake of the Cherokees. It's full of fish, a little bit of background for you guys following along. It does have largemouth, smallmouth, and a few spotted bass in it. It's a fairly deep lake. The lower end is clear. The upper ends kind of get stained and clear all at the same time. But instead of doing the whole lake, because you know we're trying to narrow it down, I'm going to cut the lake in half, and we're going to do the tracking bass movement series, you know, on this upper end of this lake, or the upper 2/3 of it. I want to include that lower section of it just to have some clear water this winter to be able to continue this series and not make it so hard on me just fishing muddy water the whole time. But, you know, with that said, guys, you know, my plan is to show you the trails, show you the waypoints, show you where I start at over here every time. So hopefully that you can take the patterns that hopefully we develop here on this lake to your body of water. A little bit more about this lake. It doesn't have a lot of water flow. It's not like a Tennessee River, or maybe like, you know, Grand Lake has a lot of water flow. Lake of the Ozarks has a lot of water flow. You know, there's, you know, even those lakes over in South Carolina, like Lake Hartwell, there's constant flow through those bodies of water. This one doesn't have it. You know, it does fluctuate quite a bit. Right now we're about 3 feet low. Water temperature is at 61.5 and still climbing. But yeah, that's it. This is gonna be the playing ground right here that we're gonna try to do this. I'm gonna cut this lake off, let's say right there where that stop sign is. And that'll give me this whole upper section that I can fish, and this creek arm right here. This is Turkey Creek. Now you'll notice a bunch of waypoints down through here. I just did a little bit of map study, Google Earth, and you know, just did a little bit of map study on it. So that's what those waypoints are from. It's not from any other times fishing here. I don't have any on this lake. I just don't. But you know, yeah, that's the gist of it. I want you guys to give me some feedback of what else you want me to include in this series. We'll try to get out here at least once a month, get a bite going, figure out where they're at, and really just document it all right here on the Lowrance, on the map, show you the trail, show you where we've been. I think it'll be fun. It's gonna be interesting. I like doing stuff like this because I'm gonna learn something from it. So I'm ready to get after it. Let's go fishing. Anytime I'm trying to figure out a pattern on a lake, I'm gonna try to hit high percentage spots, you know, and what those are points, you know, points, the backs of pockets, you know, isolated cover. Just think of something that's different than everything else. That's what I try to look for, you know, and a point's different than a big long straight bank. You know, secondary point, main lake points. I just try to hit as many of those places that I possibly can to try to get a pattern established. I didn't run very far. I'm not even a mile from the boat ramp, and we're just gonna hit this main lake corner here. It would have if the wind was blowing out of the south, you know, it would get a lot of wind. That's what I'm gonna do this morning. I'm just gonna run around and fish as many high percentage spots that I can until we get our first bite. I like it right here. You know, we've got a lot of different rocks. We've got big ledge rock, going to smaller chunk rock. Got a little bit of standing timber. You know, it's got a little bit of it all. Looks like a pipeline coming down through here. Water's deep, 20 feet though. A lot of times this time of year I really like flat points. I started off this morning just with a square bill. I've got a lot of other baits on the deck, but you know, I can cover a lot of water with a square bill crankbait. I got a lot of confidence in it. It just works, you know, for me. I like it. I don't know that I want to fish all the way to the back of this pocket. I think I'm gonna jump across and hit a few more points. A little bit of background to the weather that we're having, you know, just to correlate this with you guys. So we've had 3-4 nights in the low 30s. The high yesterday was 55, 56 degrees, and we've had a real rainy week. Like, you'll notice today is clear bluebird skies once this fog burns off. So might be a tough day. It's a post-front conditions. I don't feel like they're super active. They may be, I hope I'm wrong, but I just kind of give you a little background of what we've been presented with. We've had a big front come through, cold weather and a lot of rain this week. So a little bit different point right here. It's a little flatter, it looks a little better. Got a fish blow up there. Let's just see if he'll eat the old jaywalker. Get some action going on. Hey, I got a bite. I got our first bite. I got us a bite. Yes. We got a bite. Might be a decent one. It's a bass. Oh, it's a smallmouth. How cool is that? A nice one too. Get in here, buddy. Golly, he's bigger than I thought he was. Look at that big old fish. Oh man. All right. Man, that's gonna be fun doing this on a lake that's got smallmouth. Isn't that cool? I love them. I love them. Awesome. All right, just to reiterate, man, a flat point. We fished one really deep, steep dropping point. This point's super flat and then drops off. Caught us a smallmouth. All right. Thank you, girl. Awesome. Oh, all right. We got our day started. Okay. Just remember, guys, always analyze your bite. He wasn't relating to timber, I don't feel like. I feel like it's, you know, I'm sitting in 30, but it's super flat up where that fish came from. And it's flat rocks. Okay, we just gotta duplicate it. See if there's another one up there. That's cool. We need to make a waypoint, you know, through this series. You know, a big part of this series is putting waypoints where we catch the fish, showing you the map. We need to make a waypoint color for largemouth, a waypoint color for smallmouth. I'm gonna think here. Saw a fish jump back there, so I got excited. I can't think and talk and fish all at the same time. I'm gonna put for that smallmouth, let's put, we'll use the $sign and we'll use a green one for green ones. And we don't have brown ones from brown ones. We'll make red ones for the brown ones. I know that doesn't make sense. I don't have a brown color in that palette, but so we're gonna use the $sign. The green $sign is gonna be largemouth. The red $sign is gonna be smallmouth. Just to keep track of this as we go through each month. It'll be kind of interesting, I think. All right, so we fished 3 points now. One flat one and 2 really steep ones. The one bite we've had was on the flat one. Let's see what else we can find close to that. So you can see here on the map, we got a really good transition. Bluff bank, swings way out, so I got big rocks. It's gonna go all the way down to pea gravel. It doesn't really look like that last spot where we caught the first fish, but it's a spot that you definitely got to check year round, especially this time of year. Bird, no, 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 no. You really see how it changes from big rock to small rock. You know, we talked about in this, in this tracking bass movement, fishing high percentage, the high points. That's a high point. That transition right there, that's something different than fishing this whole bank. We're fishing just this little stretch where it makes this change. I would like to go up here and fish this point in front of me, but we may get cut off. They don't know any better. They're really gonna cut me off. They're really gonna stop right in front of me. That's one thing I just don't appreciate in fishing. I don't understand that. That's not what to do. That's not the proper etiquette when you're out there fishing, guys. It's really not. I'm not gonna say nothing though. And he's got one. It's a big one, golly. Big old striper. I don't understand that. The big lake. Good luck to you guys today. One thing about, that guy cutting me off, if he'd have asked, hey, do you care if we get up here and fish in front of you? Are you bass fishing? We're striper fishing. He was bass fishing. Not that it matters, but if you're gonna cut somebody off, just ask. Heck, most of the time I'll say, yeah, go right ahead. I don't care, but I don't know. That's not the way we do things. I want you guys to, let's all be better people than that. It taught me something though. That was a big old hybrid, so I've always heard there's hybrids in this lake. A lot of times, you'll see those hybrids on the most key piece of structure and you'll think they're bass and you'll try to catch them and sometimes they won't bite. I hate to see that there's hybrids in this lake, but it is what it is. So we just left the cutoff point over there and we came to this one, and it's really flat, but we're lacking rocks. I think on the back side of this might be some rocks. I think that channel swings up on the back side, so we will see. I like the fact that we got some wind blowing across it. Man, I used to have a point that looked like this on Lake Texoma, just a sand, flat point. Oh, I caught a lot of fish off that back when I lived down there. Bunches of them. There wasn't a piece of cover on it, but man, they would get up on it. I just, an ambush point. So just to catch you up also, we have fished 3, 4, this is our 5th point so far this morning. We didn't get to fish the 4th one too good. We fished that transition bank right before it, then I tried to speed up to fish the point and we got cut off. So just wanting to let you know, we're point hopping so far this morning, trying to establish what's going on. To me, this looks like a point. I mean, yes, I could catch one on the top water, but to me, it looks like the type of point that you throw a lipless crankbait on, and it's that time of year. And I think I've got one tied on. I do. There's lots of things that I say you gotta have tied on this time of year. This is one of them. The old lipless crankbait. A little brush ball right there. I better mark that for the next time we come back. We'll ever fish here again. Another prime example of a transition, guys. You know, for the people that might be watching that do not understand when people are talking about transitions, it goes from big ledge, bluff rock, to chunk rock, to pea gravel, to mud or sand. I mean, it's just another really short transition area right there, just so you can get a visual of it. It's just a great example. There's one. We got us another bite. Just got out off the tip of this point where it drops off. Feels like a good one. Oh, it's a sand bass. Dadgummit, or hybrid. These things will get you. They will sit on that prime stuff right where you think you should catch a bass. Bummer, bummer, bummer. All right, we're gonna try to start incorporating some pockets. I'm not gonna pass up a good point to get to a pocket, but we need to try a couple different things. All right, I think we fished 8 main lake points, one little bitty pocket. I've moved back up into a pretty big pocket, and we got a splitter point right there in the middle that looks good. We got some ledge rock over here on this side I thought we'd try as we go back, and then I want to get to the back just to see if we got any fish schooling on shad that have pushed into the backs of some of these pockets. You know, a lot of times for me, I'm going to fish really aggressive. You know, I've got a jig out on the deck, but you know, I'm gonna really cover water until I just don't get a bite, and then I might slow down and you know, pick something apart with a slower moving bait. It's just not in my nature, you know, to slow down. All right, so here's a rundown of the day, and here's what I'm gonna do. I can't fish all day today, guys. I got a lot of stuff going on back at the farm and at the house. And I need to catch some more fish to make this happen. We've hit 8 main lake points, the back of a really good pocket, I feel like. I've never been in here, but should be good. We need to run up a creek. You know, we say it all the time. We did another video when all else fails. We just need to go up the creek. You know, that's just a spot where I can narrow everything down, water be a little bit dingier, put things more in my favor, you know, just narrow down the playing field. So that's what I'm gonna do. I can't idle under a bridge and not fish it. I mean, it's just, again, a high percentage spot. I know I said I was going up a creek, but we gotta fish this right here. There's one. High percentage spot. What we got? We got a spotted bass. Come here thinking I'm gonna catch largemouth, and we've caught a smallmouth and a spot now. I don't know what that fish really does for me. You know, catching it off a bridge, you can't, I guess you can run bridges, but there's just not a lot of bridges on this lake. But, you know, again, we're trying to get a bite, figure the bite out. One on a top water on a flat point and one on a jerk bait, I'd say, is not a pattern, you know, on a bridge, but we did catch a fish. Let's see if there's another one up there. He was deep. I'd let that jerk bait get down a pretty good amount. You know, a person might be asking, why are bridges high percentage spots? You know, it's a constriction point. Anytime the wind blows, it makes current, you know, more current than anywhere else on the lake, because all of it has to go through this narrow opening. And that's what makes it just high percentage, because it's always going to have some sort of current if you've got a little bit of wind blowing. All right, what I want to do before I move on to the next piling, you know, I'm going to just fish the rest of the piling, just see if there's a group of fish here. But I want to see exactly how deep that piling is. I've never fished it before. I don't have any idea. So we're going to see how deep it is. And it's not very deep. 6 feet. Okay. So we ran up here and looking for a little dirtier water, looking for something different. We caught one off the bridge, and I don't know, the only big difference up here is the water's a lot colder. It says 57 right now. Surely it's gonna warm up a little bit more than that, but you know, we had 61, 62 degree water where we started early this morning. You know, so that water's gonna get to 64, 65 by the the afternoon. This water may not get to 60. Sure like to see a lot more shad flipping or popping, you know. You know, it's so tempting when you're in a spot like this where it all looks so good to sit and fish every piece of cover. But, you know, we're looking for fish, you know, and I'm looking for active fish. So I'm not gonna sit here, and cast at every one of these. I'm gonna cast at the bigger ones or the ones leaning or the ones that are different. Just takes too much time to try to fish it all. Now, if I got a bite and 2 and 3 and 4 bites, then you start fishing it all. Like that one right there is a leaner, you know, at a 45-degree angle. I like those better than I do straight ones, just because they provide more shade. You know, something I've heard they catch a lot of fish on over here, and it makes sense after looking at this water. It's like a fluke, a jerk shad. I think I got one tied on. I do. Sweet. I'm laughing because, man, you just would think you'd catch some small fish. You know, I think a big thing is that, yeah, it's a major front and it's bright bluebird day, high pressure system. They're not biting. It's pretty obvious. Still, you would think I could catch something. So one thing that I like to do, you know, when I'm needing to catch some fish, figure a body of water out, is constrict the playing field. And I'm doing that by getting up this creek as far as I can. You know, it shrinks this way, it shrinks this way. I've got wind blowing in, you know, it just makes the playing field smaller for me to get some bites. So, you know, I have no idea. I've never ever been up here in my life, but this is what I would do on any body of water, is just try to shrink that playing field. Hey, there's a fish. There is a fish. I got one. I got a bass. Not a giant, but we got a largemouth. We have now caught all 3. Look at that on the back hook. Ooh, and that fish is cold. Huh. All right. We constricted the field and we got a bite immediately. Off rock though. There's not a lot of rock up this creek. There's one little 100-yard section stretch that I saw. Caught that fish on the back hook too. I guess I need to slow down my bait. I think that's probably just because they're really not eating today with the clear, you know, post-front conditions. Oh, we had a bite. Wasn't very big, but we had a bite. Shallow in this. I really hadn't flipped very much of this stuff. Interesting. It's a bite. It is a bite. Got to slow down and flip. Like I said early this morning, I tend to power fish until I just can't get any bites doing it at all. I haven't flipped 5 minutes and we've had 2 bites. What's odd to me in those bites is a lot of times I feel like when I've got this, you know, small flooded bushes, and then you have a big hardwood in, and they're like that tree, that they're always on the big ones. The 2 bites I've had has been in the little stuff. You know, I've got a lot of baits and rods on my deck. You know, I've got 3 different size spinner baits, a buzz bait, I've got a fluke style bait on here, a flipping bait, a couple flipping baits, a jig and a pit boss, a lipless crankbait, a jerk bait. But you know, really the bites today came on. I had the smallmouth on the Jaywalker right here. You know, for my power stop breakdown, just a 6'9" medium action rod, 30-pound braid, just a bone Jaywalker, a Johnny Morse high-speed reel. That caught the best fish of the day. I did catch one on that brand new square bull shad color. It's really a cool color on a 7-foot medium heavy cranking rod, a 6/8 to 1 gear ratio reel, 14-pound fluorocarbon on there. And I caught that Kentucky on that new Berkeley Stunna jerk bait. So kind of a cool color. I really don't know what it is yet, but it's just the Stunna 112, just a white with a gray back. I've got that rigged on 10-pound fluorocarbon, the same rod as the topwater, a 6'9" medium and a high-speed reel. So that's my power stop breakdown. I hate that I have to leave. I'd like to stay. I feel like the bite will get better. A lot of times on these post-front conditions, you're gonna get a bite right off the bat in the morning, and then you'll get a bite right at the very end of the day, it seems like, or as the day warms up. But I've got to go get my hair cut, man. This stuff is getting long and shaggy. I don't normally have that long of hair. So it is what it is. I've got to get off the water today early. You guys tune in next week. Leave me a comment. Tell me some what else I can do to make this Tracking Bass Movement series better. We're going to go through all the waypoints in the next episode, showing you exactly where I caught these fish. And you guys tune in. Next week we'll be doing all over again. Until then, I hope you guys catch a big one.